Hi guys! I am very sad to say that Chunkers has passed on. This is my Chunkers. She is a sweet, sweet little Syrian hamster, or she was. I adopted her a little bit over a year ago from the Humane Society, and I didn't know how old she was when I adopted her, but as it turned out, she was very old. I had a very good year with her. I really loved her. She was the sweetest, sweetest little Syrian hamster ever. One night, she got out of her cage, and I didn't even know because I was sound asleep. And the next thing I knew, I felt tiny little paws tapping on my chin. Here she had escaped from her cage, climbed up in bed with me, climbed onto my chest, and tapped on my chin until I woke up, as if to say, "Hey Mom, I shouldn't be out of my cage." She was just really sweet. She came when I called her. She never nipped, she never bit, she was super friendly. I just really loved her. She was an amazing little hamster. When I got her, she came to me in a little kitty cage, this cage that you see in this video clip right here, and she was very attached to it, but it was too small for her. So I made her a bin cage as a playground, and I connected it with some big tubes, and she went up and down every day, and she played and she ran. She just really, really loved her bin cage, but she never outgrew her kitty cage. She loved it, and she slept in it every night. She liked to sleep in that tiny little area at the very top that to me looked like a little sandwich container, like a little Tupperware container. Here is her little playpen at the bottom, and here she is. This is one of the funniest things she ever did. I gave her a walnut, and she tried so hard to push the walnut up the tube, and she was actually successful in doing it because she wanted to bring everything to her food dish upstairs. She had another food dish down here, but she liked the food dish upstairs. Look at her go. She reminds me of the squirrel from that cartoon, Ice Age. Doesn't she remind you of that squirrel in this? She was just so sweet. And that little wheel that you saw at the bottom, that was just the first one that I bought her. I bought her two more. I bought her a big, big, huge wooden one and the silent one. So she only had that little purple wheel for a short time. So she was a very happy little hamster, and I'm going to miss her so much. This was her favorite exercise toy. This is the big flying saucer. It's the large size. This was the first day that she was trying it. She didn't quite know how to use it yet, but within half an hour she had figured it out, and she just really loved that thing. She was just the sweetest little hamster. I just loved her darker color. She was a dark brown with some caramel patches and a little bit of white. She had long hair. She was just a very sweet hamster. Here she is getting a hamster haul. I bought a bunch of things at the pet store for her, and I have her roaming free in the bathroom because there was nowhere where she could escape, and she just loved it. And oftentimes she would just sit on me. She would climb up onto my leg and sit on my lap. Here she is with her little mouse chew toy. She really loved that toy. She chewed off its ears and its tail and some of its legs. And here she is with her favorite thing of all time, cardboard. I really miss her a lot. I had her put down humanely. She had a stroke. She was paralyzed, and I brought her to the vet. And at first the vet thought it might be an inner ear disorder, so he gave her some antibiotics. So she was on antibiotics for 3 weeks. And I hand fed her for 3 weeks. I had to give her water for 3 weeks. And I thought she might be okay because I read that sometimes, even if it was a stroke, that hamsters can regain their ability to walk, but she didn't. So anyway, my vet was out of town when I decided it would be more humane to have her euthanized, and I had to bring her to the vet that was on call. And when I went there, the vet at the office and all of the girls that worked there said they had never in all of their years seen such an old hamster. Like in these video clips that you're seeing, this was from last year. She still has the old wheel. This is just from the very first week that I had her. And she got a lot older than that. She really aged a lot in the year that I had her. So they said she was probably more than 3 years old, and that she had had a really good life. Here she is opening her Christmas presents last Christmas, our only Christmas together. I have some little hamster treats on. This is just dollhouse furniture. She really enjoyed looking at everything though. She was just so curious and inquisitive and really into everything. Here she is having a sugar-free cookie that I baked. I can't have sugar either. That's powder that looks like sugar. It's not sugar. It's just like flour. So she had a few bites of that, but she didn't really care for it. I don't think she liked all the flour on her hands. Here she is cleaning her hands and her feet, one of her favorite things. And just for fun, I made her this little cardboard house to explore, and I put a bunch of hamster treats on the tables and in the crevices just for her to find them. I thought it would be fun for her to do, and she really enjoyed it. She just put everything in her pouches, and at the end of exploring the house, there's an upstairs too, her pouches were full down both sides. It was so funny. But she really did enjoy exploring new places, and I made that furniture out of plastic canvas. And she never had any of this in her cage. This was just totally while I supervised her. I don't have any recent videos of her because she got so old and she was frail, and I just didn't want to put her out. I just wanted her to be as relaxed and as comfortable as possible. So it's time to say goodbye to Chunkers. Rest in peace, my sweetheart. I know you're waiting over the Rainbow Bridge with all the rest of my pets. Bye, Chunkers.